Hey there folks, my name is Misadventurer, and this is going to be a channel update video and a bit of a follow-up to the April channel update video from about a month and a half ago. Now I wanted to start this video off by giving you the important takeaway and channel news right up front. I've decided to end my hiatus earlier than planned and return to making content actively on YouTube. The first episode of a brand new series will be coming out in a few days on Wednesday, June 1st. And after that point, my bi-weekly release schedule of Wednesday and Sunday at noon will resume from where I left it off in April with this new series. Now, as you may be able to guess from the background art, which is quite gorgeous, I think, this new series will be a modded campaign featuring the Imperator Invictus Overhaul mod and a couple other mods that are often paired with Imperator Invictus and are definitely compatible with it, and I think definitely enhance the Invictus experience. Now, I do have a lot to say about Invictus and the associated mods. I may just refer to them collectively as Invictus because they are paired with Invictus in my particular mod order, but that will wait for the, that will have to wait until my actual campaign, because of course I do live commentary, I have a lot to say about everything, and I've been playtesting with Invictus quite a lot off camera. I feel pretty comfortable with it, and I do tend to like and prefer the changes that Invictus makes to balance over the base game. I think the base game does some things better and Invictus does other things better. I'll talk about all this in the course of my new campaign. Now that's the main update I wanted to share right up front in this video, and if you wanted to just learn about what is going on with the channel now, that's the main thing to take away. The rest of this video is going to be me going over some stuff in my personal life and my reasoning for changing my mind about the hiatus, because I wanted to give you that context, but I also wanted to not bury the lead too much and just tell you right away what's going on in a couple days. Now, first I should say, some pretty good news for me is that I actually graduated from law school. So I am now a JD, I'm a Juris Doctor. I'm on the way to becoming an attorney. You still have to get licensed by the bar of your state to become an attorney, and that's what the bar exam is largely there to facilitate. But I do have a degree, I do have a Juris Doctor, and if I decided to do anything other than law, I have a lot of opportunities now with that one degree hanging on my wall. So that was a great experience. My whole family came and they cheered me on. I got to walk on the stage in my fancy regalia. It was very fun, very formal. And yeah, that was great to sort of reach that point after 3 years. 3 very weird years, given that COVID happened during the middle of my law school experience, but made it through, managed to get to the end, and now all that awaits me is the bar exam itself in late July. Now, I want to also talk about that because the reason I decided to change my mind about doing the hiatus up until the bar exam was over, which was the original plan I talked about in the April video, in the course of beginning my bar preparation, I've actually realized that it's not going to be as much of a daily commitment as I was expecting, mostly because I've decided to do bar prep on every day of the week, including weekends. Many law students take weekends off, and that means they have about 7 hours per day of bar prep that they are obligated to do in most programs that you work with. Because I've decided to include weekends, I actually only need to do about 5 hours per day, which is a lot. Let's not, beat around that, but it's 5 hours of watching video lectures, typing essays, answering quizzes, essentially just more law school stuff. It's not that different from law school, and that's the point, really. Law school is meant to prepare you for the bar more than anything else. So it's not as much of a commitment as I thought, and the bigger thing that I've realized is I'm someone who has a lot of energy. If you've seen my content, you probably will agree that that's been clear in a lot of my videos, is I have a lot of energy, I have a lot of kind of drive, and if that energy isn't applied to something that I feel is meaningful and has a greater purpose, I lose motivation. And to me, I can focus a lot of energy onto the bar prep and get that stuff done and keep pace with the recommended amount that I've done each day, and that's okay. But when it comes to, playing video games and kind of what I do in my off time, I've sort of realized that in the last year of doing content for the channel, making content for my channel and making videos became something that was a big sort of stress reliever for me. And I think I underestimated what it would be like to lose out on that part of my daily energy management, to not have videos. Because it's not just the experience of uploading videos and seeing people react to them, it's the experience of making them. the experience of reading comments, of incorporating ideas into my videos, using strategies people suggest, taking feedback from people, that connection and that feeling of doing something that goes beyond just me is something that I really enjoy, and it feels very meaningful to me. And it's part of why I like having a YouTube channel, even though this is, as I've said many times before, this is just a hobby for me. I never intend to, make money from this or have any sort of career based on this. In fact, of course, I'm about to become an attorney, so I'll very soon have a career that takes up so much of my time and energy that my ability to do YouTube will have to be something I'm pretty careful and thoughtful with. So that being said, at the point in my life where I am right now, where the bar prep is this daily thing, and yet I have all this extra time and this kind of restlessness, not having content to make for my channel, it just felt like something I was denying for myself for no good reason. It wasn't going to take away from the bar prep if I started to do videos again. And so ultimately, the very reason I decided to take a hiatus, because I was concerned and nervous about it distracting me from bar prep, I've now learned from just doing bar prep for the beginning part of it that in fact I had just misjudged that would be the case, and in fact I'm distracted from not doing YouTube content. So even though I think that I made the right call in April with the information I had at the time, I was nervous about finishing my finals and doing commencement and all this stuff the end of law school. I think I made the right call with the information I had at the time. I'm now making what I think is the right call with the hindsight that I've got now and the experience that I've got now actually doing bar prep and experiencing what it means for my energy and my motivation to not really have some other kind of quote-unquote productive thing to do aside from bar prep. And even though I'm playing a video game, the experience of like the deep level of thinking I do and the strategizing and the kind of the mental tactical work that I do, it does feel like work for me. And that may sound kind of weird, but this is what I like about strategy games, is it doesn't just feel like play. It's a combination of play and work. And I know many people would just sort of be flabbergasted that someone would enjoy the experience of working for a video game. But to me, there are so many games that I can just play and not really think about it. I love games that ask me to do more than just react and ask me to do more than just, have fast, fingers on my keyboard. I like games that force me, that challenge me to apply my brain and to think through the consequences of everything that I do. And as I've said before, I think Imperator Rome has, if not the best execution of that, some of the best potential for it. And what makes me so excited to play an Invictus campaign, a modded campaign with the Invictus overhaul, I think this overhaul better realizes the potential that I've talked about with this game. So overall, I am really excited to start the new series in a couple days, and I'm really excited to see what everybody thinks about it. I know Invictus has some lovers, some detractors. People have mixed feelings about it sometimes, but generally, most people that I've seen talk about it in the sort of online spaces of Imperator Rome, they tend to be pretty positive. And my experience with it so far has been overwhelmingly positive. I may develop different feelings about it as I play through the campaign. This won't be a blind playthrough of Invictus, but it is a sort of like semi-blind, I haven't beaten the game with Invictus before, for example. And the fact that I won't be able to get achievements, that's fine. Still probably going to play on Iron Man, even though, of course, that's been a recurring source of why my previous campaigns have ended. That being said, the first campaign ended essentially for technical reasons, and I basically lost the second campaign, not to spoil the Talentia campaign if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen the Talentia campaign, I'm not entirely sure what you're doing on this video, but sorry to spoil that, I suppose. You could figure it out by looking through my video history that it ends at episode 15. But the fact that you can lose a campaign is why, I feel challenged to think and to engage with this game on a strategic level. Because if I'm not careful, if I am making bad decisions like I did in that campaign near the end, you can lose it, and that's possible in this game, which I like. I like that the game respects you enough to give you that kind of lose condition. So I could talk about this game a lot. I probably will in this upcoming campaign, because I haven't been making content for it for nearly a month and a half, and I've just got a hankering to to get back into my old habits of just going on these long rants for the audience that for some reason seems to like them. So that's essentially the extent of my extra information I wanted to add in this video. Hopefully you found all of that interesting and informative, and I think I got the main key points I wanted to communicate out. So I hope that you all are excited to see me return to YouTube and to see the brand new campaign I'll be starting. I'm honestly pretty excited because I think, and I don't want to spoil what the campaign's going to be, I've been vague about it on purpose. This is going to be a combination campaign of the Ekenia and the Taulantia campaigns in a couple ways that I'll talk about in the next episode that I release, in the first episode. But it's going to have more of an Ekenia style openness. It's not going to have the clear goals that the Taulantia campaign had, but it's also going to have my Taulantia era level of planning and forethought, and some early game decision goals, to be sure, which we will talk about in the next episode. So that's essentially the extent of what I wanted to say. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all enjoying the summer and staying healthy, staying comfortable, and that's essentially everything. So thank you all so much for watching this update video. As you can tell, I've been powering up over the course of this recording of this video, and now I'm hyped to go ahead and release the first episode of my new series. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.